I don't want anyone to talk about the night of June 3rd, all right? I don't want anybody to bring June 3rd up. Do you hear me?
I hear you, but I have to tell you, as you say that, everything in me is saying, talk about it. Talk about June 3rd. Just get it out.
Magnolias, moonlight, and mayhem, hidden secrets, desires, and shattered dreams. They're the hallmarks of a Tennessee Williams play. And they're all you can count on when Impro Theater of Los Angeles invents an entirely new play on the spot in the style of Tennessee Williams.
That is a very specific threat, Lorelei.
Improvised Tennessee Williams is just one of dozens of performances crammed into the 4 nights of the Asheville Improv Festival. Troops from Asheville and around the country are joining headliners with international stage and screen credits. The only common trait, everything will be made up on the spot, never to be performed again. It all happens May 6th through 9th. For details and tickets, go to AshevilleImprovFestival.com. Wake up, Asheville! I'm Matt Peiken, and this is your local newscast for Tuesday, April 21st. Asheville property owners could see their tax bills rise by about $311 a year as city leaders work to close a $10.5 million budget gap and pay for 2024 voter-approved bonds. For a typical $500,000 home, that's nearly $26 more a month under preliminary estimates. After a county reappraisal pushed property values up about 50%, a revenue-neutral rate would be 33 cents per $100 of assessed value. But covering bond debt and other costs would require a rate 6.22 cents higher. Final numbers could change as property appeals continue. Read more in the Citizen Times. A medical malpractice lawsuit filed by a Canton family against HCA Healthcare, Mission Health, and an Asheville area OBGYN has been settled. Zeb and Ashley Smathers sued over their son's March 2020 birth, alleging negligence during a delayed C-section led to hypoxic brain damage and a later diagnosis of cerebral palsy. The complaint also said Ashley Smathers suffered severe blood loss and required an emergency hysterectomy. After more than 12 hours of mediation, all parties reached an agreement. A judge approved the minor settlement, and the case was dismissed with prejudice. Read more in the Citizen Times. A new account is shedding light on the 1973 killing of UNC Asheville student Virginia Olson. Robert Demetris, who was 14 at the time, says he and his brothers briefly spoke with Olson in the Botanical Gardens the afternoon she was killed. He says nothing seemed unusual. Demetrius said, quote, "We didn't see anyone, but obviously somebody else was out there." The story also raises questions about evidence, including an autopsy report referencing an abundant semen sample that author Brian Santana says is reportedly missing. This story is part of a series on the 50-year-old cold case at 828 News Now. A new statewide public art initiative called Paint and See is coming to Buncombe County. The effort aims to create 100 murals in 100 counties, led by North Carolina artist Max Dowdle. Locally, more than 3,000 square feet of indoor and outdoor mural work will be installed at Pack Memorial Library, with work starting the week of May 11th. The final design will be shaped by public input, with voting open online and in person through May 1st. The $37,600 project is funded through the American Rescue Plan Act and supports the county's Helene Recovery Plan. Read more in the Mountain Express. And an Asheville Watchdog opinion column is raising questions about North Carolina's dog bite laws after a pit bull attacked a 9-year-old West Asheville girl on Easter Sunday. Lila McKee needed stitches and staples after the dog escaped a yard and bit her on the head, neck, and leg. Records show the same dog bit another child in March. Animal Services had labeled the dog dangerous and ordered restrictions, but the owner can reclaim it if he complies. Columnist John Boyle writes the dog should be euthanized and calls the state's rules too lax. Read more in the Asheville Watchdog. As you can tell every time you listen to Wake Up, I draw all the content from the credible sources of journalism right in this city. But if I've messed up with anything like how to pronounce something, or you think there's just something more I need to know about a certain story, you can always drop me a line at editor@wakeupthenews.org. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next episode of Wake Up.